All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're not just going to talk about money. We are building a blueprint for your financial power. Think of this as your own personal coaching session. Our goal? To get you on the path to real financial strength and, more importantly, control.
So, I want you to just take a second and be really honest with yourself. Answer this question. Not how much you make or what your job title is, but how secure do you actually feel? Because, there's often this huge gap between what feels okay on the surface and what's actually safe.
So let's start with a number, $6,200. For a lot of people, having this much in savings, it feels like a pretty decent start. I mean, it's not nothing, right? It kind of feels like you're on the right track.
So let's meet Marcus. He's a young professional, he works hard, and he's managed to stash away that $6,200. And in his mind, he's got a safety net. And honestly, a lot of us are in Marcus's exact same shoes. We think we're doing okay.
But here's the harsh truth. Marcus isn't secure. He's fragile. One big car repair, one surprise medical bill, one layoff, and poof, that whole safety net is gone. He is, and I mean this literally, one bad day away from a total financial disaster.
So, this really gets us to the heart of the problem. We need to talk about something called the power of liquidity. And we also need to talk about why one of the most common pieces of financial advice you've ever heard might actually be a complete myth that's holding you back.
You've heard this a million times, right? Every financial guru, every article, maybe even your parents told you this. Just save up 10 grand for emergencies and you'll be set. It's basically become financial gospel.
Yeah, well, it's not gospel. It's a big lie. Seriously, that advice is so outdated, and in today's world, it's just dangerously wrong. It keeps you playing defense, always worried about the next bad thing that might happen, instead of empowering you to actually get on offense and build real wealth.
So let's totally redefine the goal here. We're not aiming for a measly emergency fund. We are aiming for liquidity. And liquidity isn't just a shield you hide behind. It's a sword. It's having the cash ready to go, not just to survive a crisis, but to actually pounce on opportunities that other people are forced to miss. That is real financial power.
Let me give you a perfect real-world example. Just think back to the 2008 financial crisis. I mean, it was absolute chaos. People were losing their jobs, their savings, their homes. They had zero cash, and they were forced into selling everything, their stocks, their houses, at rock-bottom prices just to keep their heads above water.
But there was this small group of people and companies who were in the exact opposite situation. They had cash, they had liquidity, and while everyone else was panicking and seeing a crisis, they saw something completely different. They saw the single greatest distressed asset opportunity of a generation.
You want to see the power of liquidity at scale? Here it is. During that crisis, just one single investment firm, Blackstone, used its massive pile of cash to buy 80,000 single-family homes from people who had no choice but to sell. They turned a national crisis into their own massive opportunity, all because they had cash when nobody else did.
Okay, so how do we get you that kind of power? Well, we have to shift our thinking completely. Let's talk about the new goal, the real baseline for security and opportunity in this economy. So I want you to forget the $10,000 emergency fund. Just erase it from your brain. Your first major financial milestone is a $100,000 net worth. This is the number that moves you from playing defense to playing offense. This is the number that gives you real options in life.
So how do you get there? It's not some big mystery. It's a clear 3-step framework. Step 1, you absolutely annihilate any high-interest debt that's sucking you dry. Step 2, you build your liquidity. We'll call it an opportunity fund. And step 3, you start what we call aggressive indexing, a simple way to put your money to work and build wealth almost on autopilot.
And let's be super clear. This isn't about getting rich so you can buy a supercar. The 100K goal is about something so much more valuable. It's about leverage. It's the freedom to quit that job you hate, the power to start a business you're passionate about, the ability to handle any storm without breaking a sweat. It's about taking back control of your own life.
Okay, enough theory. A plan is pretty useless without action, right? So let's talk about your first, most critical moves. What you can start doing the second this is over.
This is it. This is your first play. Before you invest a dime, before you even build up a huge savings account, you have to attack your high-interest debt with everything you've got. Seriously, think of it like a giant anchor dragging behind your boat. You can't sail anywhere until you cut that rope.
Let's just look at the brutal math here, because it doesn't lie. Your credit card debt, the anchor, could be costing you 24% a year. Meanwhile, your investment engine, in a really good year, might make you 8 to 10%. You simply cannot outrun a 24% anchor with a 10% engine. You will lose that race every single time.
Think about it this way. Every single dollar you throw at that credit card is giving you a guaranteed tax-free return of 24%. No stock, no crypto, no real estate deal on earth can promise you that. It is the single best, safest investment you can possibly make, period.
And what happens once that anchor is gone for good? That's when the fun really starts. All that cash you were lighting on fire to pay interest can now be poured into building your wealth engine, using a strategy like aggressive indexing. You'll finally be building real forward momentum instead of just treading water.
So, that's the blueprint. And it all boils down to this one simple choice. Right now, your money is either an anchor, pulling you down with soul-crushing interest payments, or it's an engine, ready to fire up and propel you toward that first 6 figures. The question is, which one will you choose to build?